So Emily, how is your final major project going?
It's going really well. I'm finding it quite easy because obviously I've done it before, so I know what I'm sort of looking for. I know I need to add the detail into my diaries and explain, not just describe what I've done, how it's helped me if I've come across problems. So how has it helped? How have I done sorted out everything?
So do you feel like so far in this project you're showcasing all of the skills that you've learnt from units 1 to 7?
Yes.
Okay. From your research, what do you think has been the most useful in terms of helping you plan your productions? You've done a great range of research. So what do you think's helped you in terms of informing the planning?
It's looking at the stats for capital, so looking at see what sort of target audience is, so I could see if I compared it and I chose the right sort of target audience for primary and secondary to help me create my radio show.
Are you finding it easier, just out of interest, easier or more difficult making a show for an existing brand compared to when we did radio production, and I gave you the fake brand of Barnfield Radio? Have you found it more difficult trying to make a show that would be suitable for Capital?
Yes, I have found it a lot more difficult because I'm trying to think what sort of songs they would play, despite me listening to it as occasional as I do. I found it quite hard to make it sound like it's a Capital Radio show, not just my own one.
So you feel like you're challenging yourself?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, in terms of being on schedule then, so I know this was your draft, and this week you should be on pre-production / production. So where are we on schedule? How have things changed? Where are we up to?
I'm going according to schedule. I'm still in the middle of pre-production, so doing my script.
Okay, and how's the script going?
It's going really well. I'm nearly finished doing the first draft because it's taking quite a while because obviously it's a 2-hour show, so you've got to make sure you fit everything in.
How are you going to ensure that your show meets the 2-hour running time?
So check the voice recording, check the length of each song that I play, and make sure that if I need to, then I have my problem solving and I think of what I could add to it if I need to add anything.
Okay, 2 questions then. First question, are you going to do a voice rehearsal, so a timing voice rehearsal, to see how long it takes you to read a certain part of the script?
Yes.
Okay, and you're going to do that in pre-production, then adapt the script accordingly?
Yes.
So maybe between draft 1 and draft 2, it'd be an idea to do a script rehearsal, a script run-through, and time it, and maybe even just a section of the show, add in the time that you already know takes for the songs, and then see how the timing's going.
Okay.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, and then you can reflect on that and obviously adapt that into draft 2.
Yeah.
How are we getting on with the presenter or the co-host?
They're not sure at the moment, so if I don't get anything by Friday, then I'll just get rid of the guest presenter titles and I'll just do this show myself.
So contingency, if you can't get the co-presenters, to just do the show on your own?
Yes.
Okay, so script's coming along nicely. What's next in terms of pre-production?
They'll be doing a proposal, running an audit, because those things would take time to sort out. So it's thinking along the sort of lines of what would take you longer to make sure you get those done first.
Okay, so script, drafting, proposal, running order, sourcing all your music.
So I found all the music from the show. I've just got to find the backing tracks and some songs for my 2 games.
Okay, Capital and news, how does that work?
The news is always at the start.
Okay.
So as the show begins, so 6 o'clock for the breakfast show, for example, and that's what I'm doing mine because obviously it needs to look like a Capital show. So I'll have the news at the start.
And how long does the news play for?
I'm going to time that next time I listen to it so I can make sure that mine doesn't go over that it's within that sort of range.
Okay, and where are you going to document that you've done that?
I'll document that in my diary.
Good. So in your diary, you could either put the links or screenshot where you've been on and found that information about how long the news is. Are you going to do live news on the day, or are you going to prepare the news before in the script?
I'm going to prepare the news just the day before I go into it, because then it'll be as close as possible to up-to-date news.
Cool. So are you going to write a separate new script the day before the production?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And in terms of production, then you're hoping to move into production the week beginning the 23rd, and is that still on schedule?
It's still on schedule unless it takes longer for me to do pre-production paperwork, so I'll just take back the time on the Monday for my schedule for the radio show, so the booth, and focus on doing my paperwork ready for Wednesday afternoon.
So then, instead of the film recording on the Monday, you'll record on the Wednesday and the Friday. Is that going to be enough time?
Yes, because obviously it'll be about 2 hours anyway with recording and everything, getting everything sorted.
So once you've recorded, let's say we do get recorded in this week here, which is next week, we then have the half-term week and then 2 weeks left after. When are you going to be making your station idents for Capital Radio or
I'd probably come in during half-term, depending if I'm away or not, to do them.
Okay, and if you don't?
Then I'll do them in post-production.
So in this week, you're hoping to make your jingles and edit your 2-hour show?
Yes.
Okay. And then in the last week?
It'll be finishing off, make sure everything's right with the edit, and then start evaluating.
Okay. At which point are you holding any part of audience feedback?
I'll do a post-production after I've done at least half an hour to an hour of my show in editing. Now clipping the songs in, so I'll do the audience feedback.
So a rough edit then, and then at the end as well of completion, so you have 2 to compare?
Yes.
Okay, good. Also, what about in this week when you're making your jingles or your station idents, to ask people for feedback as to whether they think that it sounds like Capital, whether it fits in with the brand of Capital, the feel of Capital?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 3 opportunities there to get some really good audience feedback. Okay?
Yeah.
I think if you can try and get all your pre-production done this week, then to be on production next week would be good, because when you're not in the booth and you're in class time, then you can be making your jingles.
Yeah.
So technically before you go away for half term, you can have it recorded, the station idents or jingles made, so when you come back after half term, you've got 2 full weeks to edit.
Okay.
Because what do I always say to you about editing?
Don't rush.
Don't rush, okay? And that's what we need to really make sure we're aware of.
Yes.
Okay? All of your diaries are up to date, and detailing. Remember in the early stages I said to you they're a bit too descriptive. Like
Yeah.
I literally felt like I knew what point of the computer you was clicking on. Now they're a lot more detailed in terms of what you're doing, problems you're overcoming. Okay, upload all your pre-production paperwork. So at the moment we've got your booking form there. Contingency plan.
I need to. I know I need to expand.
Expand on that. That's a little bit too brief. Okay,
Yeah.
so a contingency for every single thing that could go wrong. So presenter not turning up, booth not working, where you're going to store your recordings, where you're going to store your garage bands, and so on. Okay, so a contingency for everything.
Yeah.
I've got here the correspondence for booking the booth.
Yes.
Yeah, so well done. So your script and the drafts of the script go on there, and then all the other paperwork as you do it. Okay,
Yeah.
but you're on schedule and you're doing well. Are you enjoying it?
Yes, definitely. It was one thing that I didn't know I was going to do something along these lines, but now looking back on it, I think I made the right choice when I decided to pick this course.
And how are you feeling about working on your own?
I'm obviously a bit nervous because the way I am with my confidence, but it'll be quite nice. So then, as I do it, I will improve my confidence as I do it. So
Yeah, definitely. And that's something you can also talk about in your diaries, because it's about your personal journey. So your confidence, to be able to go into a booth and record a show on your own is an amazing achievement.
Yeah, as well as doing my pitch on my own. I can't believe I actually done that on my own. That's scared.
You're doing really, really well, okay? Any concerns?
No, I'm okay. If I need anything, obviously I look at it, see what I can do, or look at my old one just before, so I can see what I can do to it to improve, read through the evaluations.
Keep up the hard work, okay? And the evaluation is really important because, yes, you have made a radio show before, but on a smaller scale, but take those evaluation points and put them into your diary and say, last time I did this and this went wrong. So I remember off the top of my head, presenting styles was a big thing for that show, wasn't
Yes,
it? Yeah.
definitely.
One person was too quiet, the other person was too loud. They spoke really quick, like I do, or one person was really quiet. So let's make sure that those issues that you faced in the last project have been overcome in this, and put those in your diary.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Really good.